You clicked this because something about your finances feels unstable, like one bad month could actually break you. And honestly, you're probably right. But there's one move, just one, that changes that faster than anything else you'll do this year. And most people skip it because it sounds too small to matter. It's not. Here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. The reason you're struggling to get ahead financially probably has nothing to do with how much you earn. It has to do with order. You're doing things in the wrong order, and by the end of this video, you'll see exactly what I mean. And more importantly, you'll know what to do about it tonight. Let me start with a story. A few weeks ago, my cousin called me. Transmission on her car went out, $1,100 to fix it. You know what she did? Put it on a credit card. Not because she's irresponsible, not because she's bad with money. She just had $47 in her account and no other option. And here's what hit me when she told me that she's going to pay interest on an emergency. That repair is going to cost her closer to $1,400 by the time it's cleared. She paid a 30% premium on a crisis. And the reason it happened isn't that she never thought about saving. It's that nobody ever told her what to do first. And I want to show you exactly why that order matters more than almost any other financial decision you'll make. Here's the scale of what we're dealing with. According to Bankrate's 2025 Emergency Savings Report, only 47% of Americans could cover a $1,000 emergency expense using savings. Flip a coin. That's basically the odds the person next to you right now could handle one bad week without going into debt. A 2024 Empower survey found 21% of Americans have zero emergency savings. Nothing. Not $50. Not $200. Zero. And 37%, nearly 4 in 10, couldn't cover a $400 surprise expense with cash. $400, a vet bill, a car tire, a last-minute flight, and most people are one of those away from a debt spiral. Now here's the part that nobody talks about. Why is it so hard to start? Because the advice always sounds the same. Just save more. But that's not advice. That's a wish. Here's the actual problem, and this is the thing I want you to remember above everything else in this video. You are not broke because you spend too much. You are broke between emergencies because you have no buffer. And without a buffer, every single unexpected expense becomes a debt event. The credit card goes back up, the progress resets. You're stuck in a loop, not because you're doing everything wrong, but because you're missing one thing that stops the reset from happening. That thing is $1,000, sitting somewhere separate, untouched, not invested, not optimizing, just there. Think of it like this. You know when your phone hits 3%, everything stops. All you can think about is finding a charger. You can't focus on anything else. That's what a zero savings account does to your brain. It puts you in permanent 3% mode. Every financial decision gets filtered through panic. Every choice is reactive instead of intentional. $1,000 gets you to 40%. Not full, but enough to think clearly, enough to plan, enough to stop making decisions out of desperation. And here's the science to back that up. Because I'm not just making this up based on vibes. Vanguard published a study in 2025 surveying over 12,400 investors. They were looking for the single biggest predictor of financial well-being. Not income, not total investments, not debt levels. It was having $2,000 in emergency savings. People with that amount reported a 21% higher financial well-being score, the biggest jump linked to any single financial factor in the entire study. And people without emergency savings spent an average of 7.3 hours a week thinking about and dealing with finances. People with $2,000 saved. That dropped to 3.7 hours. You get back almost 4 hours of mental space every week. That's what a small savings buffer actually buys you. Not just security, headspace. But here's where it gets uncomfortable, because I need to tell you something that contradicts what most personal finance people say. The standard advice is pay off high-interest debt first. Mathematically, that makes sense. If your credit card is at 22% interest and your savings account earns 4%, the numbers say attack the debt. But here's what the math ignores: behavior. What happens when you have zero savings and an emergency hits mid-debt payoff? You go right back into debt. You undo months of progress in 1 week. The credit card you just paid down gets charged right back up, and the cycle restarts. This is why more financial researchers now argue you need a small emergency buffer before you aggressively attack debt. Not a huge one, not 3 months of expenses, just $1,000, a circuit breaker, something that stops the debt cycle from restarting every time life happens. Build it first, keep it separate, don't touch it for anything that isn't a genuine emergency, then go hard on the debt. I know that feels wrong. I know your instinct says, but I'm paying 22% interest. I need to kill that first. I get it. But you've probably done that before, right? Paid down the card, felt good, then something happened and it went right back up. $1,000 is what stops that from happening again. Now let me give you the actual math because I think people make this feel bigger than it is. To hit $1,000 in 3 months, $334 a month, $77 a week, $11 a day. To hit $1,000 in 6 months, $167 a month, about $5.50 a day. According to Bankrate, 54% of Americans say they're saving less right now because of inflation and rising prices. I hear that. I'm not dismissing it. But here's what I also know. Most people aren't making a conscious decision not to save. They're just not making a conscious decision to save. The money gets spent because there's nothing pulling it out first. And that word, first, is the whole game. Earlier I said there's a mistake at the order of things. Here it is. Most people try to save what's left after everything else is paid, and there is never anything left. If you wait for leftover money, you will wait forever. That is not a strategy. That is hope, and hope is not a financial plan. The $1,000 rule only works if you treat it like a bill, something that comes out automatically, before you see it, before your brain counts it as available to spend. And here's the psychology behind why that works. Because people who understand this think about money completely differently. When you manually move money to savings, your brain registers it as a sacrifice every time. You feel the loss. And willpower is finite. Eventually you'll say, not this month. But when money moves automatically before you see it, your brain just experiences your paycheck as slightly smaller. No sacrifice registered, no willpower required. This is the same reason 401k auto-enrollment works. When employers automatically enroll workers, participation rates jump from around 40% to over 90%. Same amount of money leaving. Completely different psychological experience. Okay, let me close every loop I've opened and give you exactly what to do. You came here because something feels unstable. I told you the problem isn't income, it's order. And I told you there's one move that changes everything. Here it is, broken into 3 things you can do before you go to sleep tonight. 1. Open a separate high-yield savings account today, not in your main bank. Somewhere slightly annoying to access. Online banks right now are paying around 4 to 4.5% interest. Compare that to the 0.01% most big traditional banks pay on savings. The separation matters more than the rate, though. When your savings is at a different institution, you don't casually spend it. Out of sight, out of mind, in a good way. 2. Set up an automatic transfer for whatever you can honestly afford right now. Pause this video if you need to. Open your banking app and set up a recurring transfer to that new account. Time to hit right after your paycheck. It doesn't matter if it's $25 or $250. The habit matters more than the amount. You can raise it later. 3. Find one expense to redirect for the next 90 days. Not permanently, just 90 days. One subscription you're not using, one habit to downgrade temporarily. Take that money and add it to the automatic transfer. Most people find $50 to $100 a month when they actually look at their statements honestly. That alone gets you to $1,000 in a few months. Here's what I want you to walk away understanding. $1,000 is not the finish line, it's the starting line. Once you're there, you push to $2,000 because that's where Vanguard showed us the real shift in well-being kicks in. Then 1 month of expenses, then 3, then 6, one checkpoint at a time. But you cannot skip this one, not to invest first, not to pay off debt first, Not until you have this buffer in place, because without it, you're always one bad Tuesday from resetting everything you've built. My cousin is at $340 now. She texts me updates. She said for the first time in years, she doesn't feel like she's one problem away from disaster. That feeling, that's what $1,000 buys you. You know what to do. Go do it tonight.